Morning, bitches, and how's it going? Welcome into another episode of Random Shit with Kyle. I'm your host, Kyle. Random Shit with Kyle. Random Shit with Kyle. Random Shit with Kyle. Random Shit with Kyle. Anyways, so it's almost Christmas time. Happy Friday. There has been so many things happening. So I'm gonna dive right in. I've got some stories about my mother to tell you. So, first of all, just a little background on my mother if you're not up to speed. She's ridiculous, lovable, old. That's pretty much it. Y'all, I love her to death, but she is absolutely falling apart. So she's 70, and I know that half of you are like, oh my God, that's not that old. You're right, for most people. For my mother, though, she's got diabetic neuropathy in all of her right leg, and part of her right side of her back. And that caused her quite a few years ago now to fall and break her foot into little itty bitty bits. So then she had to have surgeries with pins and blah, blah, blah. So let's just go with that she's a little bit more fragile than your average 70-year-old. Okay? Now, she also has diabetes, because that's where the diabetic neuropathy came from, right? Part of the reason that neuropathy crept in was because my mother's favorite lunch is a large Frosty from Wendy's. Yeah, that's right. Large. Have you ever seen one of those? No, me neither. Because no one I know, except for my mother, has ever ordered a large Frosty from Wendy's. They're fucking huge. They're massive. I can't even finish a small. I normally order a mini. Claire and I, the other day, shared a mini with the dogs. We each had a bite or two, and then the dogs each had a bite or two. I don't understand, whatever. Anyways, she's 70, live your life, but there's part of, the reason of the neuropathy and other things. Anyways, so my mother is a huge conundrum. You love her, and you also want to just wring her neck sometimes. So, now, mind you, she's 70. She's the youngest of her siblings. She has a brother who's 11 years older than her, and a sister who is almost 15, so 14 years older than her. So right now she's 85. So, the other day, my aunt fell, and my uncle, who's 87, thought, well, I can't get her off the ground by myself, but maybe if I call my 70-year-old decrepit sister-in-law, she'll be able to come help get this 6'2" human being off the floor. Mind you, my mother is 5'9", maybe, 5'8", 5'9", stocky. We're all big, okay? Hips be hippin'. We've got, width, right? We don't for much have height. Okay, so my aunt got all the height in the family. That bitch is tall. Even at 85, sitting down, she's tall. So she's 6'1", 6'2", especially if she's just gotten a perm. She's for sure 6'2". So anyways, he calls her. Now it's nighttime. So she just busts on over there thinking this is a great idea. Between me and Dawn, we can get my Aunt Janice off the floor. No, you cannot. You can't even get you off the floor when you fall. So I don't know what was in her brain, but she went over there, tootled her way on over there, tried to get my aunt off the floor. They heaved and they hoed and they could not do it. So they called the ambulance, like they should have done in the first place. So anyways, they call the ambulance. The ambulance comes over. They lift her off the ground. They're like, do you want to go to the hospital? She's like, no, I'm fine. I just fell. Okay, great. Whatever. They all go home. They all go to bed. Okay, fast forward to the next morning, right? 12 hours later, the same fucking thing happens, right? And again, what goes through my uncle's head is, well, we couldn't do it last night, but I bet we can do it this morning. So he calls my mother, and my mother, again, says, absolutely, be right over. Now, they already done hurt themselves the first time. So they're heaving and hoeing, and my mother throws her groin out. Yes, apparently, her groin. And she wants to tell the entire world, so this is not news to anyone that's ever met my mother. So she throws that out and won't stop bitching about it. Again, they have to call 911. 911 comes over. They lift her, and now it's the same motherfucking people that were there the night before, because they all be working 2-3 days, the fire department, whatever. So it's the same guys or women. It's the same people. And they get her tall butt off the ground, say, do you want to go to the hospital? No, whatever. Okay, now, a couple days later, my mother cannot sleep. And now that bitch can sleep through anything. She is her own train station. She snores loud enough for the whole entire state to hear it. If you're a few states away and you hear a little rumble in the night, that's my mother. It's just a real banger of a night for her. So she is the queen of snoring. Yes, she has a CPAP. Does she wear it? No, she gave it away. To who? God only knows who. So, yeah, anyways, she won't wear a CPAP because it hurts. I can't breathe with it. You know what? No, you can breathe with it. That's the whole fucking point, Sandra. Anyways, moving on. So she can sleep through anything. Okay. So for her to not be able to sleep, I mean, this woman takes 3 naps a day. She wakes up at 6 o'clock in the morning. If you call her by 10 o'clock, napping. Okay? And then you wake her up at noon 30, and you're like, hey, what are you doing? Well, I just woke up from my morning nap. Oh, okay. You try to call her at 2:30, napping. She didn't wake up until 4 so that she can get ready to talk to her sister on the phone at 4:30 every day. You call her, I don't know, 6 o'clock. Oh, just have a little nap. Oh, okay. This woman needs 3 naps a day. She goes to bed at 8 p.m. Wakes up at 6. Please tell me this sleeping schedule, because I don't get it. So anyways, she can nap with the best of them. So she can't sleep, right? She's in too much pain. Her groin hurts. Okay, I don't need to hear about your groin anymore. For some reason, she thinks that she needs to go to the chiropractor. Okay, great. Love that for you. I have no money. Okay, great. Me and my sister decide, Merry Christmas. Here's the chiropractor appointment. Call, get it paid for, whatever. She goes, she gets everything fixed. She talks about how her hips got adjusted. She could feel it and whatever. Great, Sandra, I don't give a shit. I'm glad that you're feeling a skosh better. We tell her that she probably needs to call the doctor. She calls the doctor. They tell her that she needs to get into PT. She calls PT, sets up a thing for Monday morning at 7 a.m. And she's bitching somehow that that's too early. Motherfucker, you wake up at 6. What do you need? 6 hours in your morning nap before you can go anywhere? Anyways, whatever. So she is scheduled up. She's going to PT, whatever. Well, a couple days later, she just can't sleep. Okay, so she calls the doctor. She tells the doctor all the thing. He prescribes her some hydros, makes her an appointment for a week later, okay? She calls the doctor's nurse, whatever, 3.5 days later, and this is the phone call I get, okay? My mother on the phone with me says, well, that nurse at my doctor's office is just kind of a bitch. I'm sorry, what? First of all, my mother doesn't cuss. That's my job in the family. That's solely reserved for me. My sister says some cuss words once in a blue moon. My dad was the cusser. He died. He handed that title over to me. Okay? She doesn't cuss. The worst she says is damn it once in a blue moon to just remember the memory of my father, that was his favorite word. Anyways, so she says the nurse was kind of a bitch. Okay, well, Sandra, why? Why was this nurse kind of a bitch? Well, because she clearly didn't want to give me more pills. Okay, do did you tell her that you ran out or whatever? And she said, yeah, I did. I told her that, that I ate them all because of back pain. And I said, Sandra, did you actually tell her that you ate them all because of back pain? She said, yes, because of back pain. I said, you said you ate them all? She said, yes, I ate them all because of back pain. Like this sentence makes sense. She's clearly hopped up on pain meds. So, anyways, no wonder the nurse did not want to prescribe her more pain meds. That kind of felt obvious to me, but apparently not to her. So the nurse was a bitch. Anyways, long story short, of course she got her pain meds because she's my mother. So she got more pain meds. In the meantime, she roto-rooted her cabinets and found some Oxy. So she's living high on life. Hydros, Oxy, she's making it through. She ran out again though the other night and then didn't sleep all night long. In case you were wondering how that was going. So she went and had to have an emergency MRI. Long story short, she's got some herniated discs, at least one, if not multiple. And she has to probably have back surgery. Now, I don't know how that's going to go with the diabetic neuropathy and the large Frosty from Wendy's of it all, but who's to say? So, that's how that's going. But my mother is ridiculous. And then she thinks she's going to come down here in February to see me as Trunchbull in Matilda, as the cross-dressing, like, villain principal. You know, if you've never seen Matilda, Trunchbull in the movie is this big burly woman. Well, on the Broadway thing, she's more often played by a man. So that's the role that I'm playing. Now, as many, if not all of you know, that I am trans. So I was born female. And I have been here, and I have played lots of roles since I have moved here 5 years ago. Okay? We're coming up on, like, the 5th anniversary of me being here. I played lots of roles. Never once has my mom even said, yeah, let me come down. Never once has she even offered, like, that would be so fun. Let's come down and see it. Blah, 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 blah. My mother cannot stop talking about coming down to see me as Trunchbull. I can't decide if it's because she likes the musical Matilda or if it's because she really wants to see me as a woman on stage again. So, there's that. That's playing with my emotions. We'll see how that goes. Anyways, that's the update on my mother. She's cray-cray. I love her. She's ridiculous. And of course, she keeps getting pills because she's also funny. So people just give her what she wants. So that's how she's doing. I'll keep you updated on any more crazy shit that she decides to do. Apparently, she decided that the end of 2024 was the time to be a bodybuilder and lift weights, and the weight was my aunt. She's not doing well at that career. I think she needs to change that. So anyways, that's the update on my mother. Now, since it's almost Christmas, let's chat about some Christmas traditions. So recently, I don't really know how this came up. I think, oh yeah, I do. One of my cousins, their mother passed away a few years ago, and their father got remarried. And they're fully grown adults. Like, I mean, the parents, but also all the children. And, anyways, so she's in her late 20s. And, this new stepmommy is trying to change all of their family traditions around the holidays. And that obviously is not setting well. And her dad was just like, you know what, just keep the peace, it'll be fine. I would not be keeping the peace. I would be fucking pissed. And I told my cousin this. I was like, no, I would not. I would be mad. My father has been dead since 2016. If my mother remarried, great, fine. I would rather that than an imaginary man. That sounds great. So, if she remarried and this new guy came in and started to try to implement new traditions, or I mean, I guess I'm kind of fine with new traditions, but trying to take away the traditions that we do. So, like Christmas, when my family gets together, we do the presents youngest to oldest. We always have. That's how we've always done it. It takes fucking forever. It literally takes all fucking day. But it's a thing, and we do it, and we kind of like it. And by the kind of like it, I mean we really like it. And halfway through, we take a break and, let the little kids play with their toys or whatever, and then we keep going. And I'm talking about, like, even when all of us, for, like, family reunion get together, this is how we do presents. Youngest to oldest. That's how it fucking goes. So that's a thing. Same thing with stockings. We always start with stockings. Stockings are always very fun. They're always very elaborate. It's not just treats. We always got we used to get like a CD in there, which was very fun. Or when CDs went out of style, we got like iTunes gift cards, which was very fun. We got some treats, whatever. But we got like fun random things, like fun Tic Tacs or fun things that we didn't get very often, kind of things. And we got toothbrushes. I don't know why, but we always got an electric toothbrush in our stocking. And back in the day, they were like fun, they were like a race car toothbrush, like whatever. And my mom would get that for everybody, even my sister who's 12 years older than me. Like, it didn't matter how old you were getting a random ass electric toothbrush. I love that tradition. But if somebody came in and was like, yeah, we're not doing that anymore, I'd be like, you can fuck off and leave. You can see yourself all the way out. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing my tradition. So I'd be mad. Anyways, so then I got to thinking about all the traditions that I like hold dear. I also like fully forced Claire into most of these traditions. But when we go to her house, I don't like demand, like when we go to her parents' house, I don't like demand that we do the traditions that my family does. Do I think that the way that they all just like dive into a present all at one time and they can't like see what everybody else got is weird? Yeah, and I feel very uncomfortable about it. But like, you do it. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, respect about it. But anyways, I'm trying to think of other Christmas traditions. Now, my family has always worked for churches. So, we would always work on Christmas Eve. The whole family. And my sister and I would usually sing at Christmas Eve service, partly because there's no telling who's going to show up for a Christmas Eve service. And so you don't want to like force somebody to have to be there if all of their family came into town and all of a sudden they're not going, or they're going to the Catholic church or whatever because their family, because their grandma decided that was where they needed to go, like whatever. Anyway, so, and my mom was the music director, so it just made sense. So we all, worked every Christmas Eve service, and then we would go home and we'd be like, crap, we're starving, and there's the only food is things that need to be cooked for Christmas dinner or cookies. So what are we going to eat? Well, we always would go to Zhang's, the Chinese food restaurant. That's what I was looking for. Lord. Anyways, so we'd always go to Zhang's and get Chinese food on Christmas Eve. And that had been our tradition forever. So it feels weird to me now to not get Chinese food, but there is like no good Chinese foods around here and nothing is open. So I don't know what I don't know what Claire and I's tradition is on Christmas Eve, to just stare at each other and not eat. I don't know. We have held really fast to some of our family traditions and then been real loosey-goosey about most of them. So, yeah, those are things that I really like and hold dear. And if we had a good Chinese place, I'd be there on Christmas Eve, but we really don't. Branson's Chinese food game sucks. So that's a bummer. Other traditions are, let's see, I don't know. I mean, obviously going to Christmas Eve service and singing Silent Night at the end, although last year I didn't go, and I think There was one other year in my adult life that I did not go to a Christmas Eve service, and I wasn't like weirded out. So, I don't know. We'll see. I think that we'll have to go this year because Claire's parents are coming here for the first time in 5 years. Not that they haven't been close to here and been, I guess, here, but they haven't like done Christmas with us up here at all yet. So it's the first year. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if they're staying for Christmas or not, but whatever. Anyways, I want to know what your Christmas traditions are. Maybe I need to adopt some more traditions. I don't know. We still start with stockings. The puppies still go first when they're unwrapping presents. That is both for convenience sake and for tradition's sake. So, there's that. And if your mother is that shit crazy like mine, let me know. Because honestly, it's a full-time job trying to raise my mother. And me and my sister are tired of it. So if you've got any tips, tricks, or if you want a mother, let me know. Because I've got one for cheap. And she'll keep you entertained. You can't make this shit up. So, anyways, I hope y'all have a wonderful day, noon, night, evening, whatever the fuck this is. A great Friday. Unless this is not Friday when you're listening to this, then I hope you have a great whatever the fuck day this is for you. And I will catch you in a couple of days. All right, bye, bitches.